Why are you here? I don't mean why are you here at the Toastmasters meeting. I mean, why are you here in this three-dimensional plane, this reality, this world, and why are you in these bodies? It's a question you might want to ask yourself on a regular basis. Do you have a message? Do you have a gift? Do you have a calling? Do you have a mission? Are you a leader? Do you want to make a difference in this world? If your answer is yes, do I see any yeses there? Yes. I'm here to tell you that you need to stop playing people games and step into your authentic power to be an influencer, an artful influencer. I'm Dr. Michelle Petacola. I'm the CEO and founder of Secrets of Life and Death, and also Second Chance Secrets, which means taking a second chance to get the results that you want. I empower leaders, change makers, coaches, healers like you to stop sabotaging your profits, your relationships, and your health by healing the wounds connected with the loss of an important relationship. The what? The wounds connected with the loss of an important relationship. And I'm going to share with you my own story so you understand what I'm talking about. But before I do that, I need an agreement from you, because this story is rather vulnerable, a little bit embarrassing. So here's the deal. I will share my story with you if you share your story with me. You can put it in privately in chat. You can email me. You can text me. I'll put the information in later on how to do that. And tell me what your issues have been with stepping into your power, into your authentic power, into your artful influence. We have an agreement? Yes? Thank you. The story. A few months ago, I was working on a new website, Second Chance Secrets. I was working on the banner, and I was having a little bit of difficulty. I was feeling a little unsure. So I showed it to my husband, because he's an artist and he often has good ideas. So he looked at it. He didn't like it. He had a lot of criticisms. So I was a little, I don't like criticism, but I took his ideas and I went back to the drawing board and I worked on it, and I came back with my new idea. And he looked at it and I still didn't have it right. And he gave me some image that I was supposed to translate. I didn't know how to do this. I was feeling a little bit panicked. So I actually put the banner aside and I started working on the website. And I showed that to him. Oh my gosh, everything was wrong. This was above the line and that was below the line and this was not right and this is the same thing. And so then I showed him my coach's website. I said, this is what I'm modeling after. He started criticizing her too. Now I am dead in the water. No wind, nothing. I don't know what to do. And I can't work because I'm so activated. So I go out for a walk in the cemetery to find some peace. You know, rest in peace. And I'm walking along and I'm fuming and ranting and I'm saying, I'm website designer, I can't do this. And I'm starting to feel like, well, I don't even want to be a coach anymore. Have you been there? So then it dawns on me. I'm being a people pleaser. I'm trying to get a buy-in from my husband. Now, why am I doing that? I mean, he's not my client. He's not even my client type. So then I remembered, oh, right. 30 years ago, my first husband left me just when I was stepping into my power, just when I got my PhD, just when I got a promotion from the company that he got fired from. And he left me for another woman. Now, my rational side said, and my PhD in sociology and psychology said, what crisis, right? 40 years old, gotten fired, needed to run away. But the inner child in me is saying, abandonment, betrayal. Why? Here's where it all comes back to. At the age of 2, my father, who was the sun and moon to me, who actually saved my life, because at the age of 2, I went flying down the staircase to the basement in my walker, heading for the concrete wall on the other side, and he caught me and saved me. I would not be alive today. Well, one morning, he's not there. I wake up and he's not there. Where is my hero? 2 years old. I decide, oh, I'm not good enough. There must be something wrong with me. I must have done something wrong. And I decided I would become a people pleaser. I would figure out exactly what those other people wanted and give it to them so that I would get love, I would get attention, I would get support. Now, the fact is that my father left not because he was abandoning me, but because he was in the military and he was transferred to Japan. And my mother wasn't able to step in and soothe me because she was moving a whole household to Japan. But I had made the decision. And unfortunately, being a people pleaser worked really well for a long time. I really got it cemented in. But here I am in the middle of the cemetery saying, this is not going to work for me anymore. I need to change. But here I am afraid that I might lose my husband, that on the emotional level, that's what I'm afraid of. Have you ever felt like that? That if you step into your power, you're going to lose an important relationship? It's scary. You don't want to lose your husband or your partner. It's hard to find a good man. It's hard to have a decent relationship. Well, I don't believe that you actually have to do that. And I'm not one of those Me Too women who say you have to throw them out because they're interfering with your empowerment. I actually believe that we choose the person that we need to grow with. So I went back home and I said to my husband, thank you very much for your support. I have a coach who is a very successful coach that makes over 6 figures, and I'm paying her a lot of money, so I'm going to listen to her advice. But I love you and thank you. And then I went back and I created my website. Is it perfect? No. Is it good enough? You bet. Am I changing it? All the time. So I understand. I'm actually asking you to step into your leadership, into your power, into your authentic influencing. But I understand that that might be challenging if you have those emotional wounds. So I would like to help you. When I asked you to share with me your experience of leadership, this was something that I did with my group when I was doing a Facebook challenge, a 5-day life purpose challenge. And I would like to offer that challenge to you. The whole program is on my website. And if you want to take it, please go ahead and grab it. All you have to do is go to secondchancesecret.com and you can get the whole 5 days of trainings and the workbook. And you can find out what your life purpose is, or get a better sense of what your life purpose is, find out what might be holding you back, and what you need to do next. I have had to work on my issue of people pleasing. And I have found in the course of my life that there are kind of two patterns that I run into. One is the people pleaser, which I already explained. And the problem with the people pleaser is she doesn't trust herself. She reaches out, gives all of her power away to other people to determine whether or not she's good enough. And if you want to be empowered, you want to be a leader, you want to be an influencer, you have to trust yourself. Now, the other pattern that I run into is what I call the controller. And this is a person, they come from a different situation usually than the pleaser. The pleaser is more being abandoned, but the controller more comes from a chaotic or even abusive life situation. And so what they want to do is they want to control the world so that they can feel safe. So while the people pleaser doesn't trust themselves, the controller doesn't trust anybody else. And you can see that that is also a problem for being a leader. As our former president, Dwight D. Eisenhower said, leadership is the art of getting somebody to do what you need them to do because they want to. That means want to, not because they are threatened, not because they are afraid, not because they're shamed, but because they want to. So you can see that these patterns can get in your way. I ask you to take a moment to check in with your own self. How are you showing up as a leader? Are you letting people pleasing get in the way? Are you letting controlling get in the way? Are you not trusting yourself? Are you not trusting other people? And then imagine what it would be like if you no longer had those issues. Imagine what it would feel like. And notice in your body if there's a place where you get a little nervous, a little tense. As a psychosomatic practitioner, I can tell you that there is somewhere in your body that there is a blockage. Maybe in your neck or your throat or your chest or your solar plexus or your sacral area or even your base. Because it's scary to step into your powerful, artful influence. So take a moment. I had to work on my people pleasing because it was standing in the way of my being empowered. And I tried a lot of different things. I tried energy healing. I have to tell you, energy healing worked really well. I one time signed up 4 clients in 1 week after some energy healing. The problem with energy healing, though, it dissipates, and it's not my energy. I have to develop my own energy. It was borrowed, and it didn't stay. Now, the other thing I've tried is tapping. I love tapping. It's really good for changing your thought patterns. It might even be good at releasing your emotions. Although, frankly, when I'm angry, I don't have time for tapping. I just have to let it out. Scorpio rising, like lightning. And I've also tried psychotherapy. But I have to be honest with you, I never did it for very long. The psychotherapists that I could afford were usually not as smart as I was. And I was actually having to pull them along to help make a difference for me. So what have I done? I have worked on myself, and I have also worked with coaches, and that has made a huge difference. I have changed myself. I have worked on myself. And what I have found is that it actually takes a lot of work to change those behavior patterns. They're very tenacious. They really hold on to you. And oftentimes they're unconscious. So it takes time. It takes not only maybe a different energy and a different thought and a release of emotions, it actually takes practice to step into your power, to practice it over and over again. And yes, do I feel fear sometimes? Yes. And this is the reason why when I work with my clients, I give them a full year of my time so that they can heal the emotional wounds, so that they can change and develop new patterns, so that they can actually develop their offerings that are totally unique to themselves. Because that is the real aspect, that's the real secret sauce, the power of being an artful influencer, is being yourself. So you don't clone yourself. You don't follow the magic formulas. You actually become yourself. I have to admit, that's one of the most scary things we ever have to do, is to be ourselves. And finally, in that year, I enable you to develop the marketing so that you can reach your people. Okay, so I understand you may be saying right now, well, that might work for you, but that's not going to work for me. Well, I've been there. I know exactly that attitude. I have done all the coaching programs, the big ones, the little ones, the in-between ones, and their magic formulas. And what I have found is that they have great information, although a lot of it's out of date now. What I have found is what has been missing is dealing with the emotional wounds. That's what sabotages us from our success. That's what holds us back from being fully ourselves and fully empowered. That in this day and age, in order to be successful, you have to be unique. You have to be yourself. If you are a coach or a healer, the statistics are dismal. Somewhere around 90% of new coaches coming out of training give up in the first 2 years. 90%. And of the 10% that remain, about 60% never earn more than $30,000 a year. Not good odds. But you know what makes those odds better? When you are yourself. When you stop trying to be a pleaser by modeling yourself after other people. So I gave you a call to action. Go ahead and get my free offer, my Life Purpose Challenge. But if you already know me and you would like to have a conversation with me and not go through that, you can do that right now. I am offering you an opportunity to have a conversation with me. Go to meetwithdrmichelle.com. And I will also put this in the chat. And let's have a talk. Now, you may be feeling, oh my gosh, she's going to try and sell me. I'm not. I'm not going to try and sell you. I only work with people who want to work with me, that are committed. And that's why I'm speaking to you, because I know you people are committed. There are a lot of people out there in the world who have no desire to change themselves. They have no motivation. But you are the leaders. You are the change makers. You are going to make a difference in this world. And maybe there is something that is holding you back. And I would like to have a conversation, and I promise I will give you one tool to move you forward. So go ahead and schedule your time. And if the times that are listed on my schedule don't work because you work all day long, go ahead and reach out to me, have a conversation, send me an email, and I will accommodate you. I know, people pleaser, what can I tell you? If it's going to work for you, I will help you out. So finally, I want to remind you of, and I got to paraphrase, I meant to look this up, but the Dalai Lama said that the salvation of the world is on the shoulders of Western women. That's you. That's you guys. You need to stand up. We need to start working right now. Final thought. If you were to die tomorrow, would you die without regret? And if the answer is no, what are you going to do about it? Madam Toastmaster, fellow guests and Toastmasters,